Hello everyone, this is Neurotics, aka Neuro, and I'm back with another tutorial for ExtremeHardware.net. Now, we recently in my tutorials did a dual boot of Linux Mint with Windows 11 as well as configured folding at home for Linux Mint. But you might be thinking, well gee, I wonder what I can do to make Linux Mint maybe more svelte or fast. You can see under administration, system monitor, how much RAM is in use, and things like that. So here's memory. It says it's using 1.5 gigabyte. I use a little bit more on my system. On my actual install, it uses about 2 gigabytes. So what can you do to make Linux Mint faster and more secure? There's a couple things I'm going to show today. So first of all, we're in the terminal and I've made the text a lot bigger, so hopefully it will be readable in the video. There's a couple of ways of doing this, but I'm just going to start off with the proper way. So to see our services, because just like Windows, Linux uses services. They used to be called daemons, now they're called services. So it's sudo system ctl list dash units pipe grep service. Leave that there for a sec. Now when you hit it, it's going to ask your password because you're using sudo. It's going to show you a big long list that might be a little hard to read, but there you go. There's a big long list of services that are running in the background. So there's a couple that we can get rid of. First of all, we're going to get rid of Avahi. So what we're going to type is we're going to type sudo systemctl disable Avahi, which is Apple AirPlay functionality, by the way. Avahi daemon.service, and this is case sensitive, okay? And so we've disabled it, but it's still running. So what we're going to do is stop it. And now it's stopped, it's disabled, it will not run on boot up anymore. So what we're going to do is go through and disable whatever I can see that needs to be disabled. Cups and cups browsed we don't need. So cups is for printing. If you don't intend on printing on Linux, you don't need it. So I'm going to show you a different way. By the way, with sudo systemctl or sudo systemctl, there's a couple of flags you can pass to it. You can pass start, stop, restart, disable, and enable. So what we're going to do now is, this is the long way because you have to type out the whole service name plus dot service. There's an easier, and this is the old way of doing it, just sudo service cups disable. Yeah, it's not working. This might be because this is Linux Mint 22 instead of 21. So it won't allow you to disable it here, but it will allow you to stop it. So we can stop the service, but if we want it disabled, we still got to type it out the long way. And by the way, to get my commands back that I've already typed, if you're wondering how I'm doing that, it's the up arrow. We're going to disable cups.service, so that way it won't reload again on launch. And then there's also cups browsed. We don't need that. Okay, I'm just going to paste it in because it's a little easier. That disables it. Now we're going to stop it. So there's two services we've disabled already. A lot of these, if you don't know what they are, don't touch them. Modem manager. If you're not using a modem, you don't need that. So we're going to stop modem manager dot service, as well as disable it. And now we're at OpenVPN. There's two OpenVPN services running. I'm not sure why. I don't believe that Mint by default uses anything over OpenVPN. So I'm going to go ahead and disable it. And stop it. Okay. So now I'm just going to double check without OpenVPN that like I can, yeah, Firefox is still working, so yeah. WPA supplicant.service. That's the last one that I'm seeing that can be disabled, I believe. It is for WLAN or wireless. I'm connected via an Ethernet cable, so I don't need that. If you are on a laptop and using Wi-Fi, then you want to leave that on. So it was WPA underscore supplicant dot service stopped and disable. Okay, so there's more services you might be able to disable. I'm not sure which are safe or not, but now what I'm going to show you how to do is how to install software onto Linux Mint. You don't get it from the wider internet. I mean, like you do if you need folding at home, if you need open RGB for RGB on your rig, or like anything like that. Sometimes you do have to get deb packages from the internet. But the majority of the time, you're going to be wanting to use what is called Synaptic Package Manager, and it's under administration. If you even open it, you have to enter your password. You might want, let's say, a media player of an MP3 player. So the one that I like is Audacious. Search Audacious, and then right-click it and put Mark for installation. It needs these additional dependencies. That's fine. Mark, and then click Apply. And apply. And it's going to install it. And you'll find it under Sound and Video. It's in bold because it's new. So if you open it, I don't have any MP3s, but you can add them here. You could do it under Add Files. But I don't have anything to add. One cool thing about this player, though, if I could find it, never mind, I can't find it. Okay, well, whatever. So I'm gonna get something that's a little more useful this time. It's called Arno IP Tables Firewall, And so this is a very, very strong firewall compared to the default firewall in Linux Mint, which is UFW, or uncomplicated firewall. This is a much stronger firewall that blocks apps. It blocks like all of certain countries, blocks a lot of stuff. So now if it's on, then under preferences, firewall, it should not be on. Yeah, it's showing here as status not on, and that's because Arno IP tables firewall is active. So, controlling the firewall, you would do, or what I'm going to need to do anyway, is man, which is for manual, Arno-IP tables firewall. Tells you that these are the options you can pass to it: start, restart, force reload, stop, stop, block. The problem with this is I can't use it. I would use it on my main machine, but it blocks Samba networking, which I use for streaming. And I've tried to find a way to tried to find a way to allow Samba and my streaming through this firewall, but I can't. So basically, you might want to use it, and then when you go to use media, you turn it off. So let's try Arno IP tables firewall stop. I have to be root. So it stopped. It says firewall disabled. Now you should be able to come here to the start menu, go to preferences, scroll wheel's not working, firewall configuration, and turn it on. And it should stay on. And you can see what ports it's using and so forth. However, Arno's is recommended and a lot stronger if you plan to not be running any internet-based services. If you're not running a web browser, you're not running a streaming like network file system or Samba, which is Windows file sharing, CIFS. If you're not running any of those, you probably want Arno's on. So for the sake of this virtual machine, I'm going to turn it back on, which should be sudo Arno IP tables firewall start. Okay, I'm not sure if that means it started or not. Let's look at our firewall here. No, it did not start again. Let's just double check this. Turn this off. Okay, it takes a second. I'm not sure how to check the configuration file. Well, if you install it and you leave it alone, you'll be good, I guess. But that's about the end of this tutorial, showing how to control services, how to install software, and how to install a super strong firewall. I'm missing something here. I'd have to look into that a little further. It'd be outside the scope of this video, but I will dig into it for the next video and hopefully come back with an answer. So thank you guys for watching. I'm glad you stuck around. You're very patient. Thank you guys for watching, and I am signing off. So guys, that's actually not the end of the video. I did manage to figure out what we need to do to get the firewall running. So if we do sudo arno IP tables firewall start, we should get an error. And it says the required variable extf is empty. Please check the configuration file. This is what we were just having. This is very easy to do. All you need to do is do cd / etc / arno IP tables firewall, and then ls to list the contents of the directory. You need to go to firewall.conf. We need to open that and edit it. So we're going to do sudo z, which is Linux Mint text editor, firewall.conf. And now what we're going to do is we need to set the external interface for the firewall to run on. That is basically the internal name of your network adapter. So you're going to go to the bottom right and you're going to click on the LAN icon and you're going to click network settings. Pardon me, you're going to click network connections. There we go. Click on it, edit it. Device ENP0S3, that's what we need. Close this stuff. Drop it in here. And then go down to the internal LAN interfaces. And if yours is like mine, or probably like everyone's, then you want for this internal net, take away the hash, which is a comment out, and have it say internal net and your internal subnet. Now we save it. Now, when we try and run IP tables, Arnold IP tables firewall start, it works. Again, you don't want to be using this if you are running an internal NFS share or a Samba share, or if you're running a web server, because I have tried and found no way with this firewall to be able to make an allowance for my Samba to work for streaming. That should be possible to do. However, I have not found out how. But that basically ties up the video. And so now for the second time, I'm signing off.